Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Crash Bandicoot. This is Coco. This is Crash's sister. You can play as her in Crash 3, also known as Warped. And she shows up, she has a more prominent role in 2, even though it's a non-playable one. In this collection, you can actually play as Coco whenever you want. Through time travel shenanigans, they explain it away as. And I always mix her up with the name of the other girl that we're trying to rescue, who is Tawna. Yeah, Coco is Crash's sister. Also, did I mention before that when I was a kid, I didn't know that a Bandicoot was a real animal? I thought Sony was just making them up for Crash. Crash wasn't always gonna be a Bandicoot, though, or even named Crash. He was, Willie the Wombat at first. Oh, shit! I was moving too fast, I didn't see... Oh, there's a tricky little gap there. Yeah, Mark Kearney wanted to get Hanna-Barbera to design Willie. And you might recognize the name of the person that they hired from Hanna-Barbera to draw the concepts for Willie. He wasn't as well known at the time, but you'll probably recognize his name now. It was Butch Hartman, the same creator of Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, most famously. There are even some of his sketches for Willie floating around out there, which I'll try to splice in if I remember. Let's not make that same mistake twice. Should be our third Tawna token for a pretty simple little bonus level. This level will also introduce us to a new bonus level token type, the embryo tokens, which I think I already missed one, so this will not be our first sighting of the embryo bonus levels in this one. In this stage, rather. Also, there is a blue gem in a later level, which is associated with this one, in that when we get the blue gem down the line, we can come back to this level, Rolling Stones. Reference to that famous band, you know, the Beatles. There's that blue gem token. The platform. But you only saw a wireframe mesh of it, because we do not yet have that blue gem. We may come back for that later. I'm not entirely sure yet if I want to backtrack for stuff like that. I think... Does that count towards the alternate ending? I think it may, so we may be coming back to that. Ooh, and that's a lot of boxes missed precisely because we do not have that, that blue gem. Also because we missed the embryo bonus stage. But again, we are not going for 100%. And I don't know if I necessarily explain why. It's just because I find it really tedious to just smash every crate. And I'm not particularly interested in doing so. I don't feel like we miss out on terribly much by not going for 100%. Also, I'm going to shut up throughout this whole level. Ah, shit. The third hog is always the hardest one. So this is our first hog riding level. And though it may look like he's shifting left and right pretty quickly, there's a significant amount of lag on the inputs for this goddamn hog. And the reason that I was being so quiet throughout that level is not because it's super, super tough and I need to concentrate extra hard. It's just because that is my favorite song in the entire game. That's called Hog Wild. Whole Hog / Hog Wild. It shares the theme with another hog riding level from later in the game called Whole Hog. Unless, oh god, I don't remember which one that was. That was either Whole Hog or Hog Wild. Yeah, there you go. But man, it's such a good theme. Oh, I love that one so much. Nothing else, and maybe the whole series even touches it. And they cranked it up for the insane remake of that song. They didn't just remaster the track. They completely recomposed it. And they added tons of just zany, cartoony bullshit to it. Just makes it even more fun. We're now moving into Native Fortress, which represents a significant step up in difficulty. Mainly because it requires a lot more timing and precision, and because it more closely packs in the hazards. We've been introduced to a lot of these like individual hazards before. Oops. Aw, man, I'm gonna have to hit each one of these on the way back up, too. But now they're gonna start condensing them together and combining them in new ways. And just generally forcing you to be a lot more decisive and a lot more precise. Like, we've seen the moss before, we've seen the fire pits. We've seen most of these enemies. I think the monkey's new. And we'll have shield guy. Yeah, there you go, coming up. Woo! But you just have much, much less margin for error now. And because of things like that, not only the timer on the flame, but now the timer on these spiked logs, the traps, you have a lot more to worry about now in terms of getting your timing right. So we're gonna rack up maybe a couple of deaths here. Also, I have to make sure my spin timing's good with the TNT. There you go. Oh, well, I guess I had the Aku mask. Ah, I jumped a little bit too early. You can avoid that explosion just by jumping off the top of the metal crate that won't get blown up by the TNT. I think this Taunt bonus stage is just a remix on the very first bonus stage we did of hers. Yeah, 5 crates, except this time there are a couple of gaps. And you don't want to destroy that bounce crate too early. Always bounce on them at least once or twice while holding jump to get a little bit more height, just to make sure that there's nothing above you, if you're going for the crates. If you don't care, then just spin them, break them, like you normally would. And they love this mechanic in this level. There is a climb at the very end that's even longer, and it's kinda stupid, because there's no fall damage. You won't splat if you screw it up. It's just kinda inconvenient when they... Whoops! Oh, man. Jesus. Oh, and the shoes. At least we're seeing some of those death animations. There's some pretty good ones. There's a unique one for if you get eaten by the plant, if you get caught on fire. Let's have an issue spinning him. Gotta be careful with the moss, because I don't... Fuck! Oh, I didn't jump in time. If you get too close to the piranha plants, or the, I guess the man-eating plants... What do I call... Oh, shit. I know why I called them piranha plants. I did that subconsciously. If you get too close to those before you start the spin up, they will eat you pretty quickly. You actually don't have all that much time to spin them. It's tighter than I make it look. Normally. Watch, I'll get eaten by the next one. So I'm gonna take this nice and slow, hopefully. Whoop, 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 whoop. Ooh, I was holding jump, so I got a little bit too much hang time. Ah, no. Didn't take it slow enough. And there's some kind of bad habit that platformers over the years, since I was like 5 years old, have just drilled into me, and I have no idea how to break myself of it at this point. And it's holding the jump button in midair, like a vice grip, as hard as I can. Holding it whenever I'm not tapping it. Don't just tap and let go. I hold on to it. Which can come back to bite you sometimes. This timing looks okay. Okay. I pissed away like probably 5 lives there just trying to rush through that. Oh, here's that long climb. Be a boatload of lives for completing that, though. Alright. Have to not screw this up and waste a bunch of time. Pop. 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 Okay, that was blind. But good. Okay, and that's Native Fort done. From here on out, things get a little bit harder. I mean, technically, after Papu Papu, the difficulty spikes a little bit. Whole hog can be the bane of a lot of people's existence, especially that third spit roasted pig jump. But I think Native Fort is like that definitive line of like, okay, now things are getting hard. Up the creek is actually a little bit of a breather. We've seen this tile set before. It's the lush tropical jungle where we're on the river. But it is a harder version of that level that we saw earlier that uses the same tile set. I used to always get screwed up with the lily pads. Because the original control scheme for Crash on the PS1 used the D-pad, and I was never ever comfortable with that. Especially with the, like, whenever you had to make diagonal jumps. I was never ever comfortable doing that on the D-pad. At least not in Crash. So the lily pads and the floating leaves used to always kill me. Because they spin and move in strange angles. And drift around. Don't try to spin the piranha. Not sure if you can. You can spin most things, but it's not worth it. Whoops. I think I hear my phone in the background. That's gonna have to wait, because that's far across the room right now. In the meantime, I'm enjoying the sounds of the whistle theme from Deadly Premonition. Oh. Well, I play this. Okay. That looked a little bit dicey. So what I'm trying to do is hit this switch and then backtrack across the lily pads. Oh, I don't like going backwards on these. Okay. Because you see it spawned those crates down there. Oh, there's a gap between the waterfall and the lily pad? Okay, well, you get the idea. There's a switch that activates a couple of extra boxes, just 2. There's a TNT crate and another one that you just have to backtrack to if you want all the crates after you hit the switch, which is proven to be more trouble than it is worth. It felt closer than it actually was. And away we go. Cool, we're good. Gonna have to wait on this. Not too long though. And we'll get another bonus level. Oh, it's this one. Okay. It's not the one that I hate. With like a million jump crates. It's got just the one. 3, 4, 5. And yeah, even though we're not going for 100% in the game, it's still worth taking the time to go and do some bonus levels. Again, though, I'm not overly concerned with getting every bonus token, like we missed the first embryo one. I'm not overly concerned with it, but if they're in the way and I remember, I'll go and grab those and do the bonus levels. More concerned with just showing off the main path through the game and the special level, along with some of the ones you unlock with keys, and maybe the alternate ending as well. But now we come up to the second boss of the game, Ripper Roo, one of my favorites. I used to design bosses and draw them, and their different phases and attacks. I remember Crash serving as a big source of inspiration as a kid when I used to do that. Like, I always loved these types of bosses back in the day where you have to get in, figure out how to hit them once, and then they introduce something new or change your pattern. And then you just repeat. Also, Ripper Roo's laugh is the same laugh that they use in... Oh, shit. Lady and the Tramp. For the hyena. So we can't hit Ripper Roo directly, so we have to set off TNT as he passes a platform. Now, as a kid, I thought Ripper Roo's movements were completely random, but... Damn, I must have been a dumbass kid. Because he follows a set pattern. It changes every time he takes a hit, but there is always a pattern. I don't know how it took so long into my life to realize that. Here it's going to be kind of a T-shape, where he passes the all 3 middle platforms and then the bottom middle one. And then this one he kind of goes at a diamond, never touching the corners. Damn! Okay, so the most important part is out of the way. I managed to avoid drowning. Yeah, Ripper Roo's a cool boss fight. And I think that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.